Good evening, Sparkle friends. My name is Dominique Lear, and I have the honor this evening of sharing with you a little bit about Park Lane and why it might be the best thing you never knew you needed. Alrighty, so I am a direct appoint area leader with Park Lane Jewelry for the last 4 years, and I will say these opportunity nights are, a little bit out of my comfort zone, so bear with me. But I get to share with you a little bit about my why, and that's always I feel like when we talk about ourselves, that can be vulnerable, right? I love talking about Park Lane and the jewelry and the sparkle, but sometimes talking about ourselves can make us feel vulnerable, right? So I'm sure all of us can relate to that a little bit, but it is one of the reasons I am here today. So I'm so excited to share with you all. I wore some of my most sparkly pieces for you just because this is something that is truly fun, and it's something I never knew that I needed until, I like to say, it found me. So Park Lane Jewelry has been around since 1955. Hi Rhonda, thanks for popping on. I do hope I'm in the right group. If Elizabeth, you're here, can you tell me if I'm in the All Because of Earrings group? Please just make sure I'm in the right place. But Park Lane Jewelry has been around since 1955. I discovered Park Lane in 2021. So coming right out of COVID, I was a mommy to 3 little boys, all under 3 years old. So as you can imagine, we were, there was a lot going on, right? And recently, my husband and I were transitioning out of the military, which was a lot harder than we had anticipated. We both were out of work at the time. You know, COVID was kind of craziness. And I had started a business from home with another direct sales company that I felt resonated with the family dynamic at the time. It was home fragrance. It was safe products to use around the little boys. You know, I'm always keeping them in mind. And I actually met my mentor, Brandy Bauman, in an online vendor event. So I loved it because I got to stay home. We were all locked inside, but I got to stay home with my 3 little boys, right, and be mommy to them while also helping contribute to the family's finances. And I was putting a lot of effort and time into the business that I was already running. So much so that it was, you know, that thing that they call mom guilt, right? I think anybody who's a mother can relate to the mom guilt. It is very real. You know, am I doing enough? Whether it be, you know, bringing in enough for the family or spending enough time with my kids. But I was putting in a lot of time into my other business that the return just really wasn't there. So I was putting in full-time effort, but not getting full-time income out. And hi, Annette, thanks for joining. So with that being said, I was doing an online vendor event where I met my mentor, Brandy Bauman, the amazing Brandy Bauman, and I fell in love with the sparkle. Like I said, I had 3 little boys, 3 under 3, so I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't wearing any jewelry. I was pretty fresh out of the military, so any of the girly girl that inner girly girl child in me had been boot camped out about a decade prior, and I loved the sparkle, but I wasn't looking. I wasn't shopping, okay? And as you can imagine at that time, shopping for myself when you had 3 little boys to diaper, right, and feed, shopping for myself really wasn't my main operative at the time. So with that being said, I did fall in love with the impression bracelets, right? I think we all have that impression obsession, but I didn't even bother to look at the prices, and Brandy talked about the sales, but I didn't dare look because I didn't want to get too excited. So what drew me in to Park Lane Jewelry was actually the hostess program that hostess program where you can get $400 in free jewelry. That perked my ears up a little bit. I was like, free? that's my kind of shopping, right? And I actually wasn't shopping for myself. I was shopping for gifts for my team that I was building with this other company, okay? So it wasn't even that I wanted to shop for myself. I just loved the pieces, and I loved how the sparkly personality of the woman that was sharing them, that I was like, I would love to support your business and hosting a party, and I would really love to incentivize my team with my other company to get them some gifts, okay? So I hosted my first Park Lane show. I got to talking to Brandy, and I fell in love with the jewelry. My hostess kit or hostess pieces came, and I was like, these are fabulous, beautiful. And she, brought up to me that she saw I was working really hard with my other company and I didn't get anything for myself. And she was kind of like, can I ask you, very gracefully, she's like, what kind of return are you getting from this other company, right, with the home fragrance? And I had already kind of been poking around with other companies, but the home fragrance was kind of where I had found success. So I didn't, think too much into joining as a stylist. But I proudly told her, I make 25% of, X amount. And she was like, okay, well, at Park Lane, we have this thing called the Direct to Point program. And the Direct to Point program is for anyone in the industry, okay? If you have sales experience and you have built a team and you have had success in the direct sales space with a company or with building a team, whether it be recruiting on the outside, we can take that industry experience and you may be able to come in at a higher level. And at that point, I kind of molded over, and I'm a God girl. I know not everybody has like the same beliefs, but I'm definitely, we're in the right place at the right time and we meet the right people, right? Everything's working for us. And I put this up and I said, if this is for me, let's find out. So I did submit the request for an interview with Park Lane Jewelry. Now I will say, backtrack a little bit. It took me 6 months of listening to opportunity nights like this one. It took me 6 months before I actually said yes to that, okay? So if you're somebody who's been thinking about it for a while, you are not alone. But I will say I am so glad that I did it, and I have never looked back ever since I've started. So I did an interview with Jennifer Bond from the corporate office. And Park Lane's compensation program, if you're not familiar, starts at 30%. So that 30% was already a higher piece of the pie, so to speak, than what I was receiving with my other company. And it is much higher than many other companies offer, even at their highest tier. So with that being said, I did well with my interview, and I was able to come in as, like I explained at the beginning, an area leader, which is our third level of leadership, at 40%. Okay, so I, on all of my net sales, which are all of our full and half price pieces, I would be earning 40% commission. And I just took this as a huge sign that this is where I was meant to be. Okay, I do believe, in the corporate world, any company that wants to bring you in is not going to offer you the same benefits that they are offering at their company or at the company you're already with. If they want you to come over, and they see you're doing a good job, they're going to reward that. So Park Lane is the only company that I know of in the direct sales space that actually has a program like this. So I'm so thankful that they had that, and I took that as my sign. I've been here for 4 years, and one reason why sharing these opportunity nights can be vulnerable for me is because I've been an area leader since I started, and it took me a while, but I'm realizing that is okay because I never really focused on building a team. So do you have to build a team with Park Lane? No, you do not. Like I said, I earn 40% commission on all of my net sales, right? And that has been enough for our family to provide us at times with a full-time income when, like I said, my husband and I were both outside of the home work. Right? It's allowed me to earn dream trips to places like Paris, France. It's been just enough when it needed to be, and it has been so much more unexpectedly. All right. So with that, we come out of COVID, 4 years, a lot has changed. My husband is full-time employed for the last 2 years now. He has an amazing job as a project manager. That allowed me to step back a little bit with my business. And with Park Lane, we don't have any minimums, okay? We don't have any monthly minimums, which was really appealing to me coming over from another company, where if I wanted to make a baseline percentage, I had to hit an active status, okay? That was a lot of stress, as you can imagine. Full-time mommy to 3 little boys, right? A lot of stress on top of, trying to consistently hit these numbers. With Park Lane, they don't put that stress on you. We want you to be successful. So we have no monthly minimums. You do not have to build a team. Should you choose to build a team, the opportunity is there. And so last year was the year that I decided that I wanted to step back from my personal business a little bit and start helping other women build their personal business. Okay, so I am very proud to say my little team of just 6 active ladies, sold over $72,000 last year. And to me, coming from a company where I was struggling myself to sell maybe $2,000 in a month and get maybe 25% of that, coming into a company where I'm earning 40% of my personal sales, now that I am choosing to build a team, a commission on all of those ladies, and everything that I pour into them, I'm also getting a return on. So I love that about the company. My little ladies, no matter what it is, I just love them so much. They're doing amazing. And I really seeing the benefit as a woman. So I came from the military. I was in a community where our numbers as a woman, we were 1 in 100. So I was one woman out of every 100 men. You can imagine that being very intimidating, very uncomfortable at times, and there was not a group of other women cheering us on, right? If anything, sadly, we were often in competition with each other because we were always kind of pitted against who was better, right? With Park Lane, we don't have that. So 4 years, I have some of the absolute best friends that I have ever not met in person in my life. I can't even imagine how different my life would be without them. This group of ladies, this community of stylists and my clients who have become friends is just absolutely astounding. And I am, like I said, I've never looked back. I couldn't be happier, and I'm so thankful for Park Lane Jewelry. So with that, I know I've been kind of on a soapbox. Let me make sure I've covered a little bit about the basics and let you guys hear what makes us so great. So I do have some notes I'm supposed to follow. But Park Lane Jewelry, like I said, we've been around since 1955. We're family owned and operated. We're on the 3rd generation of company operatorship, if that's even a word. Within the company. So the granddaughter of the founders, Arthur and Shirley Levine, is actually our designer. She just had her first baby, so the 4th generation of the family has been procreated. I think that's really fun. We're expecting to see tonight in the new line maybe some inspiration for that, and we're very excited, which I believe is in the next 10 minutes when the new line drops. So if you're not aware, I know I have to hop off here so we can all see the new line launch. Maybe a couple of you have some sneak peeks or a backstage pass. but we are debt-free, cash-rich. This is our 70th year. Just last year, 2025 was our 70th year in business, so going on 71 years, which is like Disneyland and McDonald's, right? That's how well we're doing. The founders were 16 and 19 years old. So I have to tell this story because it's one of my favorites. So Shirley was a stay-at-home mom. She had little children she had to attend to. And she was doing the dishes at home when she heard a knock at the door. And she opened the door, and a young man was selling cleaning products door to door. And Shirley looked at him and she said, "Come back when you have something that I actually want to buy." So that night, Arthur came home, and that's when, at the dinner table, the idea of Park Lane Jewelry started. She said she wanted to give women something that they were excited about, that they could do from the comfort of their own home if they wanted, while supporting their family. And I just love that, because in 1955, if you can imagine, how far we have come with regards to like women's rights and our place in the workplace and the home and all of those things. I just think that's amazing. So I love that part of the story. The family decided in the bylaws then and there that they would never take 2% of the profits from the company. So that is what allows us, and still to this day that stands. So that is what allows us to really pour into our amazing Park Lane sales with that buy two, get four half off, and these amazing bonus items and deals of the day. It allows them to pour into us as stylists with things like our, my blazer here is getting a bit tight. Pour into us as stylists with our amazing Sparkle Convention going on this week. Also, earning things like this gorgeous soiree necklace before they launch so we can share them with our customers. Our Rich Rewards program, where we can earn over $13,000 or $1,300 in free jewelry every month. We have an amazing fundraising program. That's actually one of the reasons I specifically started looking into Park Lane. I was doing a lot of fundraisers with my previous company. So if you are somebody who enjoys giving back, or you have a philanthropic heart, Park Lane has a 50% fundraising program where the company themselves will donate 50% of the retail back to the charity of your choice. Okay, so as somebody who is doing a lot, taking out of my own pocket, I loved that I would be able to give back while not taking out of my own children's mouths at the same time. So I cannot say enough good things about the fundraising program with Park Lane. Let's see. Other compensation perks are the Mercedes car bonus. So that was another thing that perked my ear, because at the time, life was very different, right? We only had one vehicle in our house, and I heard about this Mercedes car program, and who doesn't want to drive a brand new Mercedes, right? But with that, Park Lane gives you the choice. So you can either choose to drive choose to get a lease for a white Mercedes, where Park Lane will pay $700 directly to Mercedes for that lease, or you can get $500 in cash bonus, okay? And $500, you can get a really, really nice car. Second vehicle if you need it. Make your already existing car payment, put it towards your electric bill, put it towards your rent, whatever it might be, right? So I was like, that is amazing. I've never heard of that buyout option with any other company. So that was another thing. I was like, okay, let's listen in, right? Mercedes car program. What else? We do boast the highest compensation in the industry, from 30 to 50%, depending on your level. As I said, just like myself, you can come in at a higher level. Hi, Julie. Hi, Melissa. We have the Direct to Point program, right, where we recognize and respect your industry experience, which was my personal experience that I shared in the beginning. Once you promote, you never lose your rank, ever. Okay, so as somebody who came from another company, dealing with the stress of trying to hit certain numbers, trying to get my team to hit certain numbers. I don't have to put that pressure on my team to hit any numbers. I just get to build them up, love on them, support them, right? I myself will never lose my rank. Like I said, 4 years, area leader, never wanted to recruit, right? Never wanted to build a team until I really saw how good it makes you feel sharing this business with other people. So you never lose your rank, you only go up. We have both weekly, monthly, and yearly bonuses. Like I said, we have the Rich Rewards program where you can earn $1,300 in jewelry every month, Mercedes car, and 2 luxury travel trips a year. So every 6 months, Park Lane shares a brand new travel trip. They're going to be sharing the latest and greatest this Thursday with us. So this is the perfect time to start because you will be just in time to start that travel trip with us, okay? It's easy, it's fun. Like I said, I came from Home Fragrance, something that worked for the family. This was for me. I wore something tonight that was fun. If you're the person who doesn't get to go out, you don't get to wear your fun clothes, that's something you can do every day if you want with Park Lane Jewelry. You get to, if you choose, go live in your pajamas. I literally have pajama pants on right now, or in your cute little blazer, whatever it may be. Whatever makes you feel good, right? You are the occasion, so stop waiting for the chance to wear those pieces. You get to wear them today. You get to wear the jewelry whenever you want. You're your own walking advertisement. People love it. Jewelry is the #1 compliment, and it's the #1 gift given around the world. The toilet. Oh, thank you. Oh. Mom life, right? But it's the #1 compliment. It's non-invasive. Who doesn't love to hear, I love your earrings, right? Who doesn't love to gift someone something sparkly and have their eyes light up, right? It's scientifically proven when you wear jewelry or someone sees jewelry on you, your brain gets an instant release of serotonin and dopamine and you feel happy. And that is why you see all of us stylists so happy, is because we get to share that and love on everyone every single day. So it's simple. We're always updating you, giving you new training, like our Sparkle Convention this week, so you never have to be afraid of if you're doing it wrong. So there's no right or wrong way to share jewelry, but we're always updating the trends. It's easy. You don't need a big fancy wardrobe to do this because the jewelry is it. It's everything. So you don't need experience. So if you don't have that, that is okay. We have women start every day who've never done anything like this, and they are some of the most successful people in the company just because they love the product. So it is consumable. Like I said, fashion is always ever changing. So if that's ever a concern, you don't have to worry about that with Park Lane Jewelry. We do have the unconditional guarantee, which makes it very easy to show, share, and make your customers feel very special, important, and happy. Provide them with that top-notch customer service, right? So, I believe I've shared everything I had. If there's any questions, feel free to pop them below, and I will go back and answer them. I do need to share with you a secret word, okay? And what you're going to do with that secret word is at 8:30 on the dot, I'm going to share the after live guest survey. You're going to fill out that survey, and on there you're going to share the secret word, okay? That's going to get you entered to win a beautiful pair of Park Lane Jewelry earrings. And if you have any questions, like I said, pop them below. Your stylist and I will go through, make sure we've answered them all. Go ahead and tag her so she knows that you watched. And I hope you are all so excited for the brand new line launch. I know it's like Christmas around here. We've all been buzzing all the stylists all day. So the secret word is occasion, because you are the occasion. So like I said, don't second guess yourself. Don't take the time. Don't overthink it. like I said, it took me 6 months to start, and I just wish I did it sooner, because it has been just the biggest blessing to us. So you are the occasion. You can do this. We are here to guide you. Make sure you drop occasion in the guest survey. And the kit specials right now, I always say, you know, go with the basic kit. You're going to get a bunch of free jewelry at your launch that your leader, your sponsor, is going to do side by side with you. She's going to do the whole life for you, so you don't have to worry about it. The kit right now, it's $129. That gets you your year of a website free. It gets you $500 in jewelry of your choice. We're going to help you pick those pieces so you get, you know, brand new pieces that are going to get you success in your business, some of the top sellers, right? So you are off to the best start possible. So that's what, like nearly 5 times a return, 500% return on your investment. There's no loss there, right? You get your community, you get the training, you get your website. And if, you know, you try it and it's not for you, that's okay, but you'll never know unless you do. So you're the occasion. I hope you ladies enjoyed this evening. We're gonna hop off and go check out those brand new pieces, fill out that guest survey, and thank you so much for your time, and I hope you ladies have a beautiful evening.